All right, I'm back in the Model A. When I first got poor old Betsy home here, she had an electrical issue. The former owner had told me that it was probably needing a new battery, so I replaced the battery and still had similar problems with the electrical system, and she just wasn't starting or keeping a charge. So a little bit more investigating, and turns out she had a bad alternator. So I've replaced the alternator with a new 6-volt positive ground alternator, and which I was amazed to actually find. And so now I thought I would take the time to show you a little bit of the interior and how to start a Model A. It's a little bit different than starting a regular car, and we'll give you a little bit of an interior tour here. So I guess we'll start at the steering wheel. This is the horn, obviously. This is your light switch. You got two different lights, low beam, high beam, and then the driving lights, which are right here. Over here on the steering wheel, this is an aftermarket turn signal, which really doesn't work very well. In fact, it only turns left and the right signal doesn't work. And so I generally just use good old-fashioned hand signals. The turn signals I might have to work on that later on. But they didn't come with turn signals, so that's it. This is the spark advance lever. And in order to start the car, I'm going to put it up in the fully advanced or fully retarded position. Over here on this side, this is the throttle, and I'm going to put that down a little bit to start it. That's basically that for the steering wheel. I'll go over to the dash. Right here we've got the fuel gauge, and you can see that I'm showing about 3/4 full. All that is really is a piece of cork on a wire, because this is the fuel tank. And in fact, if I was moving around at 3/4 full, you could see gas just floating in there. So not much between me and a bunch of gas. This is the odometer and the speedometer. It's in miles. The amp meter, which actually now moves. These two here are some aftermarket water temperature gauge and oil pressure gauge. There is no oil pump, and so basically the oil pressure sits around 0. So I don't even know why that's there, but it probably looks good. Down here, again, is an aftermarket heater from probably about 40 years ago. And then, because this is a fuel tank, there is no fuel pump. The fuel is all gravity fed. So this right down here is the fuel shutoff valve. So in order to start it, we got to move that. And then the choke. Over here, standard 3-speed gear shift knob. That's the handbrake. And then way up, I'll move my light here, way up under here, this is, right here is just a footrest. This is your gas pedal or your accelerator pedal. And way up under here, that's your starting pedal. Basically, that's the starter right there. So I'll go over the starting procedure on Model A. So the first thing I'm going to do is reach down and turn on the gas. So I've now opened the gas lever, and I'm going to turn my ignition on. And this is a old-fashioned pop-out switch, so sometimes those actually fail. So it's still got the original pop-out switch. I'm going to make sure she's in neutral, and I've already adjusted the throttle and the spark advance. I had her running about an hour ago, so I may not need to pull the choke, but we'll give it a shot and see what happens. So 1, 2, 3, I'm going to step on the starting pedal, and she starts right up. Now I'll just play with the spark advance for a second. Adjust the throttle. There we go. We got her purring nicely. And that's pretty much how to start a Model A. And then it's basically do that in reverse to turn it off. Is I'm going to shut my fuel off. And so now there is no fuel. And then that just pushes in. I can actually take the key out when it's running. So, and that turns off the car. So that was basically how to start a Model A. A few more other details I've got in the car here is this is, it was an accessory in 1931, and it is an 8-day clock. And let's see if we can hear it. You can hear it ticking. And so it's just a wind-up clock, and it still runs. Up here we've got the windshield wiper, and it's a vacuum powered windshield wiper, so it works some of the time on the engine vacuum. And these are 3 fun little accessories that I've got that came with the car, and they're chauffeur badges from BC. This one's from 1963 and 1964 and 1966. So at one point, I guess this car was used as a chauffeur. And that's the basic how to start a Model A. And oh, I guess because this is the 31 slant window, the window actually adjusts. So I'm not going to do it right now, but this window actually pushes out, and there's a little vent in here that catches the wind and pushes the wind down onto the floor. So it's kind of like air conditioning. And that's, yeah, there we go. I hope you enjoy it. We'll catch you on the next video.